Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the one day late, but still existing uh, games commentary, which is like the last one for 2015, and it's just the final thoughts on Gamescom 2015, and yeah, a quick recap. So, what's to say about Gamescom 2015 in general first? Um, I think it's my second favorite Gamescom. Uh, in theory, it had everything. It had good games, very good games. Like the lineup was triple A. In the triple A field was gigantic. We had Dark Souls, we had Metal Gear, we had Battlefield, we had Rainbow Six, we had Call of Duty. Well, Call of Duty is obvious. Uh, we couldn't play, but saw the reveal of the WoW expansion, Legacy of the Void, Overwatch. We had tons of stuff, but still not my favorite. My favorite one was I think 2013 with what's it called? Battlefield 4 and stuff like that. I like that one better, a bit only. Well, this Gamescom had much to offer, but I wasn't like, oh shit, I missed too much because I had too less time. Wasn't really the case with me. The thing is that in, let me think, 2014, for example, I had some games I wanted to play, but never got the chance to play. And that this year, except for one or two games, I got to play everything. And if I wouldn't have camped around in merchandise areas and met my friends, I would have been like done on the second or third day, and the fourth day I would just do nothing. Seriously. Um, the thing is that I didn't play Metal Gear and I didn't play, let me think, what did I play? Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero was the thing that I wanted to play because it looked stupid, but I saw it. You could watch other people play it. Um, yeah, just a quick addendum. I played or I watched the presentation for Uncharted 4. I forgot that on my last Gamescom day. It was great. It was very, very funny. Was just the first level, and it had everything: quick time events, action, comedy, shooting sections. Yeah, everything you would hope for. Uh, Looking forward to that. But back to topic. Um, what this Gamescom lacked was seriously stuff for me to enjoy more. Um, for example, I gladly passed on Metal Gear for the sole reason that it's out in 1 or 2 months. It's not so long until it comes. Uh, for Warhammer Total War, I was like, nope, prefer the Warhammer 40k version over the fantasy version, and I really am not so hyped about it. Um, and aside from like Overwatch, which I played last minute, I wasn't into the Blizzard stuff either. You could play Heroes, WoW, you could play Legacy of the Void. Not my thing actually. Like I only play the fun maps in StarCraft. I don't like to play the meta. I am not good at strategy games at all. And yeah, I thought the lineup was in some areas was very weak. And for example, the awards like were absolutely bullshit. Sorry, if you haven't seen the Gamescom awards, gave Unravel, which is a side-scrolling platformer, gave it I think the strategy game award. It's so bullshit. Um, yes, and now I think after I said why I didn't like Gamescom 2015 or what I didn't like, I say what I liked, and these were the games that like made my top five, and I quickly recap why. So on number 5, it's XCOM 2. XCOM 2 was great. I saw it, and yeah, it's better. It's a polished XCOM 1, and I like the guerrilla theme of it. I don't like the thing that, yeah, humanity lost the war. No spoilers, but it's like the whole premise of the game. That XCOM 1 is, after like your first 3 missions or so, is not canon anymore. Which is, in my opinion, absolutely bullshit. Why would you do that? Why is your game not canon anymore? And yeah, you could have worked around that. You could have, in theory, would have made like the ending like, wow, that was only the Alien Standard Force, and now here comes the big part. But I think we are required to lose, so the second game just fits. So yeah, same strategic game, 4 axis and turn-based. And as dickish as before, I only say 90% hit chance and missing 4 times in a row. Woo! Then on number 4, we have Super Mario Maker, which I will die for. Like, Super Mario Maker is so awesome, and I will defend this game to death. For those who don't know or didn't listen to my analysis of Super Mario Maker, Super Mario Maker is basically what you have in Little Big Planet. Yeah, Little Big Planet is a good comparison. What you have in Little Big Planet, where you just create maps, publish them, and let other people play and rate them. And this is Super Mario Maker for just Mario games. You just make a Mario game, or you can even make multiple worlds. So you can, in theory, make your own Mario game, just with the assets of the game that it just gives you. Like you cannot make new enemies, of course, but it's possible to make an entire Death Run Mario game of 5 worlds or so, which is fucking awesome. Just imagine, do one move wrong and you're back to the start Mario game, which is fucking hard as shit. As hard shit. Not as, well, liquid shit. No. But the Mario game I will defend to death, because that is what I wanted my entire life, to make own Mario games very simplistically, and to choose, and this is the most important part, you can choose what assets you want to use, or not what assets, what game you want to use. If you want to use the old Mario from the NES, or Super Mario World, or Super Mario 3, New Super Mario Brothers, and you would get even sprites and models, in the case of Super Mario, New Super Mario Brothers, for enemies that were not present in the game, like a Bowser model for Super Mario World 3, I think, or was it? I don't know. And you would get like new models for every game, and like chain chomps for the very old Super Mario, or bullet bills for games that in that he wasn't present. It's very, very cool, very, very nicely made, and you can even combine power-ups and give power-ups to enemies and make pyramids of enemies. Ah, it's so good. It's like a dream come true, actually. And then we get to number 3, which is Star Fox Zero. And Star Fox Zero is, as far as I know now, a remake of the series? I'm really unsure. Star Fox Zero, at least it seems like that, because Star Fox Zero is plays on like the Lylat Wars timeline, I think, and has assets of Star Fox 2 with the mech mode. And what I played was great. You would play the Corneria stage, and you would just have your first objective, just get to a communication tower where General Pepper is located. And when you are there, you have like kill 10 enemies. Okay, that went fast. And then there would be like spider bombs that are trying to climb the tower, and you have to fend off all of them. And after that, you would get the final step, which is a boss fight against the dude who is not the optional boss in the N64 Star Fox. In Lylat Wars for the Europeans and Star Fox 64 for everyone else. And that's the mech dude. And he is now a UFO and flies above the tower, and you have to fight him. And he had a special quirk, like he had like antenna cannons on, or satellite cannons, to be more precise, on the top and the bottom of the ship, and you could shoot them off, and then the part where they were located fell off the ship. And there were two locations where you could just go inside the ship if you shot down one side of the ship, and go into mech mode, and instead of defeating the boss the normal way, you would get a secret boss in this boss fight. If you would kill him the regular way, the mothership would fall apart, and the boss would flee. He would fly away in a rocket that is like an evacuation rocket. And if you would defeat the secret boss, you would fight the generator of that thing. And these are like, what's it called? The satellite map in Star Fox 64. It's much like the final part of that, where you have to destroy the generator of that. And if you destroy that, the mothership explodes, so the boss doesn't flee. So I can think of this branching thing, like in Star Fox 64, where you would have a branch, would go down it, and since I've defeated that boss, I will never meet him in my entire playthrough again. When he flees, he says, "I will see you again, Star Fox," and that will probably happen. And then because I killed the secret boss and I speedrun the game because I saw how it's done in the queue, I got to get into a Star Wolf fight, which was also very awesome. So Star Wolf is in the game, and Pigma is in it. So since Pigma disbanded Star Wolf right after Star Fox 64, it has to be another timeline, especially since you can kill the first dude from the first level in Lylat Wars, Star Fox 64, whatever. So it has to be a remake of the entire series, which many people were asking themselves first when they saw the trailer, is it a sequel to 64? Is it a prequel? Is it what now? And I think it's a remake. Maybe Google can tell us better, but not now. The next game on my agenda is Star Wars Battlefront. That's number 2. And Star Wars Battlefront, quick side story, Star Wars Battlefront was on my oh my god, it gets overhyped list and will be shit because Battlefield 4 was shit. And I've got into huge arguments with friends about it, and I think I would still be very critical of the game because I don't like that you get that EA just pushes the game out before the movie. Quickly side story. We knew that the game would come out before the movie, before the new Star Wars movie. But when after they said that, they stopped development on Star Wars Battlefront because they said we stop all development on all our games for the time until Battlefield 4 is fixed. It's not fixed today, but it works. So they fixed the netcode, etc., and then they said, yeah, now we're back on Star Wars Battlefront. But the game is still coming out right before the movie, like they said in the very beginning. And this gives you just that gut-wrenching feel. And then we had the trailer, which was like a showpiece. And that is the second thing that puts my alarms off. Compared to the Watch Dogs scenario, which was exactly the same showpiece, and the end result was below average, or below what everyone expected. And yeah, it's like the average open world game, for example, compared to a GTA and stuff like that. And I cannot stress enough how hype destroys games, and hype can make the developers make promises that they can't hold, and then the consumer is very sad, very, very sad. So I was skeptical and I'm skeptical about every game until or to a certain degree, and I always usually watch reviews when I didn't get the chance to play it before I buy it, because my last pre-order I've ever done was to Mortal Kombat, and you saw that PC release. So that burned me again, and before that I didn't pre-order also, so maybe I will get into the pre-order trap again sometime in the future. The thing about Battlefront, however, was that the demo we played, the fighter assault thing, we played that first, and it was awesome. It was funny. It was like I would imagine a space battle, but on the ground with obstacles and power-ups and stuff like that. They really, really, really ripped their asses apart after everyone said, "Fuck you, we want to have those aircraft battles, so why don't we get them?" And then they made this mode, and this mode is mwah. It plays very good. It's like, well, only little criticism is it feels a little bit on ice, like X-Wing on ice, but if it slides too much and the community says nope, I think DICE will fix that. I hope so. And the Walker Assault mode was also very awesome. It was like the ground battle mode. But what I have to say is that the balancing was off. But other than that, it was very, very good. And I would suggest you to go to my Games Commentary 3, I think, is when I played. Yeah, 3. It was 3. When I played the Walker Assault mode, and listen to the whole thing, because the balancing was off. The walkers that were not the AT-ATs were way too weak. Same goes for the turrets. People could destroy those with ease with a blaster rifle, not even rockets. And the AT-ATs had too much health, in my opinion. Like our enemy team ended the game with 2 AT-ATs more than 3/4 of health left, and that was too strong. But other than that, it was very, very cool. The balancing was good, the weapons felt good. It was like punishing to people who spam shot everything, like you were like a real stormtrooper, which made me very happy. If you just would constantly fire, you would miss so many shots, and it's very punishing to people who won't just mouse one everything, unlike Battlefield 4, which was very, very based on, yeah, you can go full auto and don't have real punishment for that. I like having a bit punishment for bad plays, but everyone has his own preference, right? And the last thing, my top one, of course, who hasn't guessed it already? Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3, yeah. It was like, I don't know how to put it in words. Dark Souls 3 was not only good, it was outstanding. It was a demo. Like, really. And if you listen to I think it's also Games Commentary 3. So listen to that. I want your views. If you just listen, I'm really passionate about Dark Souls. Dark Souls over the last year became from a franchise I didn't want to touch because it's so hard to the franchise I would gladly do everything for. And what Dark Souls 2 did wrong, even though those were other developers, Dark Souls 3 did right. And even the demo where you didn't have a real inventory and stuff like that, with the better sword stances and stuff like that, it felt so fucking good. Holy shit. The entire area looked gorgeous. I don't know how they do this. I mean, Dark Souls is not always top-notch graphics. We know that. I mean, Bloodborne was, but Dark Souls 1 and 2 weren't that high on the graphic standard. But if you they did not outsource the graphics. Okay, they didn't have like 20 polygons per limb more, but they used their graphics to the max. The resources they have, they used to full extent, and you could view over the entire city of Lordoleth, and you would have like a pretty much awesome overview of what is awaiting you. And the enemies were very, very much better than Souls 1. They brought back much from Souls 1 that was better than Souls 2, and took the good things from Souls 2, which is, and I say this, the inferior game of the two, and put it together, fused it, and added stuff to it. And it's like Mass Effect 3, where 2 had no RPG elements at all, except for the talking, and 1 had all the RPG elements, and they fused it to 3, and it was the perfect mix gameplay-wise. And you would have like, I mean, I don't know how to put it. It had like that awesome feel of a game, and I was really like, holy shit, I have to pre-order it, and I didn't pre-order it because I'm like, nope, I wait. And the game is I don't know how to say it. I fell in love with the fucking game demo, which was 15 minutes long, and I don't know how to put it. And it has like so many secrets again, which 2 had also, and to a certain extent, but 2 was too much focused on combat. And I like that they took the combat out of 1 and 2 and fused the quick-paced combat, which is also present in Bloodborne. They even took parts of Bloodborne, like the charge attacks and stuff like that. It's very, very well put together. And yeah, those were my top 5 games. And Gamescom, yeah, was great, like every year, but still not the greatest of them all, even though probably one of or 2 of my favorite games of all time were there. Could be also that Chris wasn't there for 2 days, and he's my compadre in this. And yeah, I'm very, very happy, and got way more merchandise this year. I think 250 euros of merchandise, and this is the double the amount of last year's Gamescom. And I'm very, 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 very happy about this weekend. I had a great weekend. I got to know, I think, 4 new people from all over the world, and yeah, I saw friends that I never seen in my entire life, only heard them over TeamSpeak, and saw old friends that I haven't seen for 4 years. That was the perfect thing. Like, I can't say anything bad about this year's Gamescom. And in my opinion, it was emptier than last year's, because they split the halls so good apart that not everything AAA, or not too many good games or most anticipated games were in the same hall. So yeah, that reminds me, slight downgrade. You didn't have those awesome outside areas anymore, which were like, the last years you had like fun games like rodeo and fake surfing, and I don't know how they are all called on the out areas, but this year it wasn't the case. which was also a bit of like minus points for me. But well, it's all about the games, right? So hope you enjoyed and see you on next year's Gamescom. And I hope you enjoyed Gamescom too, or did not, if you were at home. And I would like to see you on the next Gamescom, or hear you, or not hear you, but I want you to hear me on the next Games commentary in 2016. And if you liked what you saw, then press the subscribe button and help me become bigger and bigger and bigger until I swallow the entire universe. Fuck yeah. And if you want to support me further, just go into the description of the video and press on the according Amazon referral link, so I get a little share of the money that Amazon gets from you. Thank you very much. Goodbye.